Welcome to the Dirty But Well-Dressed podcast.
Episode 1.
2020. This is Todd Wynn. TT Scarcelli.
TT Scarcelli. And I was Desi Devereaux.
Desi Devereaux is here.
That's right. Desi Devereaux.
Desi has got... We're going to talk about some hair metal, some stuff of the past.
The good, the bad, the lost.
The lost. Never the ugly. Maybe a little ugly.
Well, it's all a little ugly, right? I mean, it's dudes in makeup, so.
Wouldn't be interesting if it wasn't a little ugly.
Right.
That's what makes it sleazy. Does it? I don't know. Isn't, so that our name is taken after that Beau Nasty record. Dirty But Well-Dressed. I'd never heard of it. Tell my buddy here, Desi, hooked me up with the band name because he had a story about the singer.
Yeah.
And it's pretty badass.
It was probably about 2007, and there was I play drums, and I have a friend who he'd had a band in the earlier 2000s, and there was a recording studio in the area that was having like an anniversary celebration, and the owner of the recording studio had invited all these bands to come back and play a set. You know, it's going to be a concert, and the friend of mine who had a band that had recorded an album at this studio, he reassembled his band but didn't want to get the original drummer back, so he asked me to fill in for the show. So I did. And because of that, this guy and I were hanging out a little bit more, and one night, I want to say it was a Wednesday, this guy's a singer, great voice, so he says, I want to go sing some karaoke.
Got to keep up your chops.
Got to keep the pipes.
Get in there.
Got to keep the pipes lubed.
What better way? You don't have the heavy critique there, or you do, depending on where you go.
It's definitely its own world. So anyway, I'm not really a karaoke guy per se, but I'll go have some drinks and have a couple laughs probably.
That's
right?
Because you're not usually singing Britney Spears or old Celine Dion, right? If you wanted to sing something, it would be something obscure, which are probably, like me, not going to have in the fucking folder book or whatever it is.
What do you have from DeMalls on file there?
Who? Frankie Valli? Is that Frankie Valli? No, it's not.
So anyway, we roll up to this club. It was called the 44. And
you showed me that the other day.
We drove by it when you were up visiting me.
Killer, low key.
Just kind of a little dive.
Is that North?
Yeah,
Boise?
it's North Boise. It's on State Street. Its address is 4400 something, so thus the name the 44.
Looks like an extravagant trailer park.
Hey, yeah, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Killer. It looks like a great place to dip into.
So this guy Jaron and I, we roll in there with we met up with another couple of his friends that were also fans of singing karaoke. We roll in, and it's a small place. So we roll in, and there's a guy singing, and he sounds killer. And I don't.
Who is this cat? You would recognize right away. You're like, wait, hold on a second. That's a pretty badass voice. You don't know who he is.
I don't have no idea,
but he's good.
So I don't even remember what he was singing, but he was selling it. He was into it. He was just what you would expect from a big rock frontman in a stadium. This guy was trying to control the crowd.
You're like, where is this guy?
Yeah. Anyway,
teeth.
The guy can sing. So the guy finishes the song, comes over and says hello to Jaron, and just to paint a picture, this guy looked like he was probably in his late 50s or 60s, or maybe just really weathered. I don't know.
You have gray hair?
It was dark. It's in a club, so I couldn't tell if it was really gray, but it was frizzy and kind of gross. And he's wearing like an old baseball hat, like a fucking REI jacket and some fucking sweatpants and some fucking
Scarcelli swag happening.
Got some sneakers happening. Anyway, Jaron says, "Hey, I think his name was Mark.
Yeah,
this is Mark." And I said, nice to meet you." And he goes, "Yeah, this guy used to be in a band back in the day. He had a band called Beau Nasty."
Now, just a little quick intercept.
Yes.
We got to know about that little shop down in Burley, too.
Okay.
Where a little history on.
I grew up in a very rural community. There was for a brief time, there was a little music store called House of Music.
This makes me jealous, man.
The guy sold, it was, at the time, it was just cassettes he was selling. He gradually moved into CDs. But, just music. He'd sell like these studded wristbands and shit. Man. And then there was like 3 or 4 arcade games.
Wasn't there arcade? I was going to say arcade.
3 or 4 arcade games.
So, man, being a kid from the 80s.
Small little space.
Arcade games, leather wristbands, and heavy metal.
Yeah.
So, that's all we needed.
I think on another episode, we need to bring in Vincenzo.
Yeah. We
so he and I can kind of talk. We can have a little episode just about house music. You guys can
throw it back and forth because he used to go there too right after you.
Yeah. Well, we'd go at the same time because we'd play some video games together. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that was kind of my source for buying music. And the guy who ran it, and I'm forgetting his name right now. That's why we've got to get Vin on for the episode. Vin will remember the guy's name. But the guy,
sounds drunk.
He got the popular hard rock and metal, but he'd also bring in a lot of the more obscure stuff. And, me being...
That's the shit.
Yeah.
The obscure stuff. Anyway.
So every time I'd pop in there, I'd say, hey, I've got this or that. And I would ask, what do they sound like? Kind of like a cross between AC/DC and Queensryche.
Again?
Or they're like a mix of Judas Priest and Zebra. Just the most random shit, right?
Spinning, especially then when you don't even have the musical knowledge that you do now of bands. Judas Priest and Zebra.
Yeah, I don't know.
What the?
So anyway, I would usually pick these up.
What was the Doors? Who was that he said?
Alice in Chains.
Here's a band, Alice in Chains.
Kind of sound like the Doors. Like? And I said, not interested. And then he put it on, and I'm like, oh, actually, this is cool.
Didn't he say?
No, that was Lost Boys.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Sounds like such and such, but the singer's drunk. Yeah.
He was always drunk.
Oh, fuck. He was a mess.
Decline of the Western, Civilization Part 2.
$1 million check and nowhere to cash it.
The only guy, Chris Holmes was the drunkest guy, so nobody even looked at the other drunk guys.
Right.
Because he's laying in the pool with the vodka, so he's the drunkest guy, right? So nobody else matters.
Right. So anyway, I picked up a lot of kind of obscure cassettes of bands back in that era. Some of them were like the one we're talking about today, Beau Nasty, Dirty But Well Dressed. That was one I picked up. Hurricane Alice. Tear the House Down.
I'm still trying to nail that record because people are on the get like me, man. Just gets zapped off Discogs instantly. So
there was that Lost Boys record, which was Lost Boys. They were an offshoot. It was basically Odin, right?
Basically, wasn't it? Didn't you say there was like some other dudes that were in that band from others? So it was kind of like a super group?
Well, it had the Duncan brothers who were in Odin, right?
Yeah. Armored Saint?
Yeah, they were definitely an Armored Saint.
Were they?
Were both of them an Armored Saint? I don't know. I know the guitar player was. I think the guitar player was, but
okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I would pick up cassettes there. So anyway, I had picked up Beau Nasty back in the day, and at the time in my life, I was, I grew up on a dairy farm, so I was milking cows and shit. But during the day, I had some lawn mowing accounts. And so I would, have my Walkman on, and
as we did.
I would want to have a steady stream of music to plug into it. And so, that summer I listened to quite a bit of that Beau Nasty record. So
what a life changer auto reverse was, huh?
Game changer, man.
Dirty hands. Have to get a dig in and flip the tape.
Yeah.
I need more friends.
So anyway, going back to the original story where I'm at karaoke, and my buddy Jaron says, yeah, this is Dave. He used to have a band back in the day called Beau Nasty. I hadn't revisited that album since that summer, really, but it's still right there in the mind's eye. So I just immediately said, oh yeah, Dirty But Well Dressed. And this guy, Dave, the singer from Beau Nasty, Mark. Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
Mark,
Dave, whoever.
Sorry,
the dude
Mark.
just kind of looked at me with this kind of incredulous look, like, what the fuck?
CIA guy.
Yeah, because I don't
Hair
think
metal CIA.
I don't think that was a band that ever got any real traction. So I don't think a lot of people.
I didn't even know. I fucking look for hair metal bands all the time from when I was a kid because I love them all.
Yeah.
And the obscure, the better.
Right.
But I never even heard of those guys. You were the first guy that I heard that from.
So I said Dirty But Well Dressed, and he just gives me this look like, who the fuck is this guy? because I'm sure not many people he ran into had ever heard of that band. And I just blurted it out, right? You know,
Yeah.
without pause. Beau Nasty. Oh, Dirty But Well Dressed. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. So,
Because usually people would give him a beat. Oh, Beau Nasty. I've never heard of them. Were you guys very popular? You know, you get the usual rundown.
yeah.
What was the name of the album? No, don't think I've heard of it. Maybe I did. Not you.
not this guy.
You rattled off the title of that record like you had it in your car and you just listened to it on the way in.
Exactly. And so he just gives me that look like, what the fuck? And Jaron's like, yeah, they were, I mean, dude's a great singer. And I said, yeah, I caught you walking in. I said, you were awesome. And Jaron said, yeah, you should have him sing something else. And so I said, hey, man, you should do another tune. And he just goes, fuck off. Just kind of gives me this crusty look, fuck off. To which I'm kind of like, I don't know this guy. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I think that's the end of that conversation.
Stranger danger.
Maybe there's some old hard feelings. Maybe his band got the shaft. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, so I kind of resume conversation with Jaron and the other people he knows there that are kind of talking. And then, what's the guy's name again?
Mark. Anthony Fretz. Is that right?
Maybe, yeah.
Mark Anthony Fretz.
So anyway, like not probably a minute later, he comes up to me and he's like, "What do you want to hear?"
Maybe the first fuck off was, I'm done for the night.
Yeah,
asshole.
that's kind of
I'm
how.
done for the night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe that dirty but well dressed comment just flew over his head.
Yeah, I think it just.
But then he went, you know what?
Got a fan here.
I think I'll do another closer, encore.
Yeah. So he's like, "What do you want to hear?" And I'm just, I'm kind of surprised that he's even re-engaged me at this point.
Yeah.
So I just said, "Hey, man, surprise me." I said, "I hear you kill Led Zeppelin. I hear you kill AC/DC. Pick something that you can just knock out of the park. I just want to watch, man.
Just give us some Careless Whisper." It's good.
So he and he still got the voice, man. At least,
I bet.
At least
that's
he did.
That's what he said, man.
So he went up there, and the funny thing is, I don't remember which Zeppelin song it was he did, but he went up, did a Zeppelin tune, and it was cool because I just walked away from the group I was talking with. I just wanted to soak this all in, right?
Oh yeah, you're like,
and the dude's doing the moves in his fucking sweatpants and baseball hat, but he's just got command of the stage. And what's killer is he was just nailing this Robert Plant impersonation, but like for the second verse, he mixed it up and he went Brian Johnson from AC/DC, just fucking
within the same song,
just nailing it.
So he's coming Robert Plant, just like very kind of spot on.
Yes,
for the first half of the tune.
Yep.
It was a Zeppelin tune, and then he switched it up and just
for the second verse, and then went back into Robert Plant. Oh, dude, it was
that's impressive.
It was fucking incredible.
Wow.
Dirty but well dressed.
But then you never talked to him after when he got off?
I didn't. No, I don't. The funny thing is I don't recall much more happened that evening. I didn't stay too long,
Yeah, maybe he bounced out too. Maybe he got out of there, dude.
But then, talking to people within my personal network there, I find out that the guy has been there in the Boise area for a while. He owns like a doggy daycare place, dog kennel. One of my clients utilized his services. Yeah, kind of a...
This is a local guy. Who knows if he was born there? I don't know any history.
I don't have any history about the guy either. Because I think...
wasn't there a Canadian?
Didn't we determine that was a Canadian band?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't recall.
Maybe I should have maybe done a little research on that before talking about, but I believe that's what we'll just
keep this uninformed. We'll just guess, right?
Yeah. We'll
take
do some retractions.
Take the Bill Burr approach. Well, I don't really fucking know.
Someone does that. Yeah. Fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah. So
one of these days we got to scream in there.
Yes.
What you said Wednesday.
I think it was a Wednesday. I remember it was midweek. So it could have been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know, but yeah, this dude, I mean,
I bet you they wouldn't even have any Faster Pussycat there. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're going to get your Led Zeppelin up there. Your AC/DC.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Staples of the rock world.
Staples of the karaoke.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think what other karaoke would be. You know what I mean? Like you can go to a bar and get the digital jukebox. Like remember we talked about playing the Merciful Fate, that weird ass track, Melissa, right?
Yes.
To the bar's chagrin or frown, you know. But
Frown Town.
Yeah, but so karaoke's probably maybe you can get anything. It just depends on what they get, but
Yeah.
that shit's good enough. Like you know, maybe some Aerosmith, maybe some
Motley
Zeps.
Crue.
Yeah, they gotta have Crew in there, huh?
You know. Yeah.
Maybe get him to do some Tom Kiefer, man. That's a
Yeah,
gritty growl.
Now, did we determine when this Dirty But Well Dressed was that 1990? Or was it still 89?
I think it was 89.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like I said, I remember was mowing lawns that summer. But
I'd never. Yeah, 89. Yep. I'd never even heard of it. Of course, you popped off a few weird ones. You had that killer store. Like I said, we used to have to go to the malls here.
which malls were keeping it pretty mainstream for the
There
most
was
part.
like picture a mall record bar over here.
Yeah.
Vinyl, cassette walls, right?
Yep.
And over there was a heavy metal section like this. I swear to God, dude. Heavy metal. So
It's kind of like the Record Exchange's little 80s.
yeah, pretty
band,
much.
right? Okay.
Except smaller.
Smaller, okay.
So you're hoping, you're looking through there, you pull the vinyl out, you look on the back, you got to look at the dudes.
Yes.
Right? You look at the hair.
Fuck
you look
yeah.
at the clothes. You look at the shoes / boots, whatever they're wearing. Then you look down and you
With the
look
conches.
at the conscious.
Those little things on their boots. They'd wear the
Yeah. But
Bon
I don't know if they
Jovi
ever
looking
put you
shit.
off, but I was a little leaning towards more the California dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I would see the Italian guys, you know, there's that wave of Italian guys.
Yeah.
Like, or East Coasters like Twisted Sister and Brittany Fox and some of those guys where they're just super hairy.
The
and
fucking
dark,
ugly glam guys.
ugly glam guys.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Italian dudes shouldn't be fucking
All had
poodling the hair and putting on the
poodling the-
lipstick.
Yeah.
Still look like an ugly dude under that.
Never really shave that at
Tight enough.
5 o'clock off, dude. You know what I mean? It's always there, no matter how clean the skin was.
Yeah.
It always had the puffy shirt, right? With some kind of vest.
Fucking pirate shirt.
Yeah. But the California dudes, not so much. I mean, there are
Right.
examples, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
they're usually just more regular glam type dudes. Like
Right.
Like
right.
our Rats and our Robin Crosbys and dudes like that.
Yeah.
Our Rough Cuts.
Rough cut.
So yeah, so you looked and then you looked at the gear. I'd always look because they usually list their gear.
Yeah, because they were endorsed, right?
So I'd go, let's see, Jackson guitars,
Jackson
check.
guitars.
Charvel, check. You know what I mean? Marshall amplification, check.
Check.
So there was little boxes
Yeah.
to tick.
Yeah.
And sometimes, actually, a lot of the time, you'd have to just roll the dice.
Right. Because I would do the same thing. Pearl drums.
Pearl drums.
I used to love. Well, Tommy Lee played pearl drums.
Right.
Peter Criss back in the day.
Pearl drums was that rock
Yeah.
kit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of dudes were still playing Tama, and a few dudes were playing
Tom
Ludwig,
was
but
Star Classics. It was a rock.
yeah. So yeah, I was kind of the same way. Pearl drums. All right.
Yeah, to check the box. It's like turn around, look at the front art, look at the logo, look
Yep.
at the name. All right,
Yeah.
this is the one. Of course, it didn't have a lot of money either. So
Exactly.
one title, you know.
So if you got a turd, you had to force yourself
Pretty
to
much had to find
let
a
it grow
way.
on you.
Yeah.
You just had to play it until you liked it,
Yes.
which I think that was kind of the beauty of that era. Because now, we can just download something. You don't like it, you just toss it aside
Throw
and
it
move on to
aside.
the next.
Yeah, which
So
is not the same because I remember my little cassette 10-space cassette thing
Yeah.
with these 5 or 6 in there. That was my choice.
yeah,
That's which one am I going to listen to? Speak of the Devil, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, something like that.
Right.
King Cobra, Ready to Strike. Which one am I going to listen to? So
I never really listened to that band, but dude, I couldn't
did.
just looking at them.
that was one I chose because they had the blonde dudes. They looked cool.
And then Carmen Appice with the fucking
He's in there.
little black short shag and
Uncle
still got the
Guido.
fucking mustache.
He's such a dope guy, dude.
He is killer.
He's a great
killer.
drummer and he's killer.
Yes.
He's in all those bands. Man, he was in so many classic rock bands,
Yeah.
and then he was still doing the glam. But
Yeah.
that was, I think, at the time when I got that, there wasn't a lot of selection, so I kind of I nabbed it.
Yeah.
Because it did have the Jackson on there, and it had the dudes, and I thought, well, maybe they got to be getting a little in there.
The funny thing is, I remember when I first saw a King Cobra cassette, and this was pre-House of Music. There was also the Sound Company, which sold, kind of higher-end stereo equipment.
Yeah.
But they also had like a big cassette wall, behind the glass, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I remember
Another story.
every time I'd earn my paycheck, I would go in with, a little money. Well, what's new in the rock? And so, the guy, well, I've got this King Cobra. I've got this Keel. I went Keel over King Cobra.
Well, which one was it? Final Frontier?
Ooh.
So
I'd be hard pressed to remember because I had the Final Frontier. I had the Right to Rock. And then they did one that was
I want to say that
half live and half studio.
Oh, you Larger Than Live?
Larger Than Live, yeah. I
wanna say
don't remember
that
which one it was.
Cobra was the first one was 84.
Okay, this wouldn't have been 84. This would have been probably when was their second album?
85. I want to say.
And what did
The
Keel?
one with the Iron Eagle.
Was there one that had like a roller coaster on it? Or
Yeah,
something?
that's the one.
Okay,
Thrill of a
yeah.
Lifetime.
That's the one I think I remember.
See, so that's a whole nother thing there.
Yeah.
We might have to address this in a King Cobra episode.
I'll have to do some homework and actually listen to them.
I can keep up on this one. I'm pretty familiar with King Cobra. So, but yeah, that one it was a huge switch between sounds on those records.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
first one didn't hit, so label's like, all right, we got to go more commercial.
Well, it was
guys.
1985. We could do a whole nother segment on 1985. I could go quite a long time on that.
Oh yeah.
Just the whole music area, and it was crossed between pop music and it went into heavy metal where they started doing pop records, and I swear they just didn't even give a shit on discretion on sounds. They were using every weird sound on the keyboard to make this not obscure in a good way. Just in a bonkers way, pop.
Okay. All right. Huh.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. 85 was a weird year.
Oh, yes, it was, man.
Yeah.
And things seem to make a lot of sense. If I see a movie from 85 or an album, I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Because it sounds about of the times,
Yeah, totally.
And so there's another side to the Beau Nasty, which is Beau Hill. Is that right?
Well, because, yes, wasn't this like a Beau Hill essentially a boy band he put together of some dudes that can play? Those dudes can play.
Yeah, they can.
That dude can sing.
I think dudes can play guitar. They all can. Yeah.
Now, where did we get that information? Did you look that up?
No. I heard that from...
Or was it my client that told me that?
I think it was probably your client.
Okay. Chad.
Call out.
It's a call out to Chad.
Is that the same dude that introduced you to him?
No, that was Jaron. Chad's a client of mine who had used the dog park.
Is that Child's Play guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keeping it obscure.
Okay, we'll get to that in another episode. So he's the guy that said, well, it's actually Beau.
Yeah, I think Beau Hill got a deal for this band and helped write the songs.
Or already had him? Because he was in bands too.
Yeah, Rockhead, right? Or
is that right? Rockhead? Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
He had a couple of bands he was trying to get out.
Yeah.
I listened to some podcast where he did that. He broke it all down, but he never mentioned Beau Nasty or him having anything to do with that. So it's a great, story.
Yeah.
If it's true.
Yeah.
Who knows if it is, but
right.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah.
And plus him being a producer of Kicks and Rat and
oh yeah,
fucking others.
Right.
He never got in a Motley, did he? No, that was Weirman on.
Oh, dude, yeah. I said Rockhead. That was Bob Rock. Where the fuck am I coming up with that?
Rockhead?
Yeah, that was a Bob Rock thing. I don't know where I just went Bob Rock from Beau Hill, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hey, is that a review on that record?
Yeah,
you should read it. It looks like 4 stars.
Gave it 4 stars. This
4
guy,
stars.
Forever Rock, that's on Discogs. By 1989, the template for so-called hair metal was well defined and perfectly refined. So by simply following the rules, Beau Nasty made a record that fans of the genre, including myself, have no problem enjoying. I mean this as a paint-by-numbers as it gets. Good musicianship, hooky songs, the obligatory anthem as a lead single, Shake It. Shake it if you wanna.
Do it if you please.
A couple of ballads. Oh, some
Paradise in the Sand.
Paradise in the Sand. Oh, Steve, we're not just talking about it. We've listened to it.
Fuck yeah.
And even a cover tune. Nothing new, nothing to separate Beau Nasty from the crowd. Turns out Beau Nasty was one of the unlucky ones and didn't last long in the business. Bands who were not as good as Beau Nasty got rich and famous. And bands way better than Beau Nasty never made it at all. If you like hair metal, you'll enjoy Dirty But Well Dressed.
Which you can find on Spotify, for those of you that might be curious.
Which is really weird.
It is.
I mean, I consider like that Christian band Mass from the 80s kind of obscure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as I know, they never gained any popularity, probably within the Christian community, like a la Striper or something, you know. But they're on Spotify too, so there is some. They're adding things all the time, right?
And then there's stuff that was major label release that's not on Spotify. Like I think about Pink Noise Test, Cheer Up, you know, from Plexi.
Yeah,
You know,
they had big deals, but not.
or big enough. I mean,
Well, Atlantic, it's a pretty big deal.
yeah.
At Sub Pop, they were on Sub Pop first, and then
Yeah,
that Cheer Up record.
right.
And then Pink Noise Test, they were on Interscope, but once again, both of those bands are super obscure.
Yeah, they are.
Not to us, but...
We dig deep, though. We dig deep.
and so how could I equate that with Beau Nasty? Because I'd never even heard of Beau Nasty, so they're obviously... And they looked like they had just as big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, they were on a... What was the label, like Epic or Sony or something?
I can't remember.
I mean, it was a big label at the time. So you know, there was money behind it. I don't know what the promotion looked like, but
Yeah, you're right, Epic.
Epic Records, yeah. I don't know, man.
So it's yeah. And plus they had a big video shot. There's a lot
Yep.
of money put in on that.
Yep.
But you know, 89 was that razor blade year for bands like that.
Yes,
That
I
was
mean, because
the
like I said,
last.
Lost Boys.
Wasn't Wildside, dude? Wasn't Wildside? Or was that 90?
I want to say they were maybe 90.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a little later. Was there one last one that slipped through the cracks? Was Skid Row the first Skid Row? No, that was more like 88, huh?
88
So-
maybe.
So that's close, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting right there to the edge. But it seemed like this last push for, you know, that style of music from labels. I mean, 'cause like I said, Lost Boys, Hurricane Alice,
92 went Under the Influence. I was a little off on that one, which is way late.
Babylon AD.
Babylon AD.
Was that 89?
No,
We're going on
that was
we're going on
much
tangents,
later.
aren't we?
I want to say Babylon was way later.
90?
'Cause I remember. Because, man, at 89, we had the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mother's Milk, you know.
Was Mother's Milk 89? Really?
Well, it was 80, somewhere in there, 88.
Okay. See, my time frame kind of gets screwy in my head. I think of that as like early 90s.
Oh, you're right. Babylon AD, that was 89.
Okay.
So, okay.
Bang goes the bell.
Yeah. See, Mother's Milk was 89.
Okay.
So, and what was, and Nothing Shocking, Jane's Addiction, 88.
88.
So times were
Yeah.
a-changing.
Yeah, they
right?
were. Yeah. That's
Because
good.
I remember hearing those records and going, holy shit.
Yeah, Jane's Addiction knocked me on my ass.
Yeah. Nothing Shocking.
Yeah, Nothing Shocking
Big
was my introduction to him.
milestone. Changer.
Yeah.
It's like being really, like being really stoned and just staring there going, oh, okay. Because for the longest time, I was all rock and heavy metal.
Yeah.
No, this had elements of that as well. So
Yeah.
it was able to coerce you, if you will.
Because, at the time I was listening to, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, LA Guns. And then my brother Dustin said, hey, there's this band in LA that's doing some things. Their album's coming out, Jane's Addiction, check them out. And so I picked it up.
That cover was that's enough to make you buy it right there.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Silver kind of and the green. It's
Yeah.
cool. So you
That album, I remember listening to it going, my God, it's cool. It's heavy,
it's wide, it's psychedelic.
but it's weird. It's,
Singer's really weird.
Yeah.
He had a great voice.
yeah.
Interesting phrasing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of it was really interesting and cool. That was kind of a turning point for me, I think, musically.
Yeah, so That was 88. Mother's Milk 89. Funk kind of rock happening.
Yeah, that funk.
Yeah, I know. Personal preferences aside,
Yeah.
it was things were changing.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving away from that sound. Not for a lot of people. I mean, I still liked it.
Yeah, well, hey, man. I mean, I like to think a lot of us aren't just so easily put into one box when it comes to what you listen to. You know? Like, people say, well, a Jane's Addiction fan likes this. It's like, well, I'm a Jane's Addiction fan, and I also kind of like Beau Nasty.
Yeah, yeah.
So
you're able to like any of that stuff. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what happened with them. I think that there's definitely a lot more bands like them that had to go through that same thing where had a lot of money into that first release.
Let's see if we can make something stick from the label, right?
Actually, there's a reunion video I watched of Hurricane Alice where they got back together and they talk about the history. And that's basically, they had the same thing.
Okay.
They were going to some mansion to sign their deal, and it was all, they were like totally thinking, we're just going to launch into the stratosphere with the rest of the boys. You know?
Yep. Yeah.
Not the case.
Not to be.
And then a lot of the rec execs just knew they were going to shelf it to begin with, you know, but never told the band or anything.
Well, I guess you'd probably look at it like this, though. Like, let's say Hurricane Alice. We're going to sign this band. They got the look, right? They've got
got the songs.
We'll throw out this album. If it hits, great. We push it. We do more. If it doesn't hit, on to the next, right?
Yeah.
Toss them out like yesterday's trash.
Yeah. I mean, how else it's a business for them.
Yeah.
I mean, there still probably were some people that cared about music in there at the time.
Right.
But it was dwindling, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, this isn't an episode about the record industry.
Right.
Maybe it'll just turn into that in every episode.
Right. I feel there are going to be tangents.
Maybe we need to pick a segment at a time point and just go, okay, now is the time where we go into bashing the record industry.
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
Anyway, I ended up getting that Beau Nasty after you told me.
That was an eBay find?
It was Discogs.
Discogs, Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, $25.
$25.
That
Theft.
story alone was enough to lay down cold hard cash for that release.
Yeah.
And the cover. If you've never seen the cover, look it up.
Oh, it's a gift.
It really
is a gift.
It's a masterpiece of,
dirty but well dressed.
Yeah.
And when I ran into him that night, he was dirty, but he was not well dressed at all. Looked like a hobo.
Yeah. It wasn't even dirty, but well painted. No. Right? Well sketched.
Fuck off.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Dude.
What do you want to hear?
But amazing, he was just still killing it. He didn't lose the voice. I think those guys, the guys that can sing like that, the Richard Patricks and stuff, they're born with it. They have it. Certain.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, is it something you kind of still have to keep utilizing? Because I hear other singers who are getting older and they say you really start to lose range, you start to lose what you had when you were younger. Now this guy's out singing karaoke on a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah.
So he's keeping the machine lubricated.
Yeah, because plus he's got the business to run. So.
Yeah, so it's like, I believe there are some people that just have this gift, but that gift can probably diminish,
I believe so,
over
just
time,
like
right?
anything else,
so this guy was keeping it working and keeping the fire going.
Is that the only place to do karaoke up there?
Oh, no. I'm sure there's plenty of places. Again, I'm not really part of any karaoke scene, so I couldn't tell you where. But, there are other places doing karaoke.
That was his spot, huh?
44.
And he's in Meridian, his dog place, right? Or something?
I don't remember if it's Boise or Meridian, but, I mean, they connect.
They're close.
Yeah. It's
I'm trying to figure what drive down there.
Now, Vinny lives in Meridian, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, maybe that's the place. Maybe he knows the bartender. Maybe he, knows the way. Who knows why he goes there? But
or maybe he just likes the set list that he can choose from there. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's rock heavy because, God, he just had that perfect rock
Maybe
voice.
Wednesday's 50 Cent Coors Light night. Who knows? That would be a reason for me to go.
Wednesday night, wear your dirty sweats.
Yeah. Get up there and sing Brian Johnson.
Drink your 50 Cent Coors Lights.
Bring you 18. Just line them up on the table.
Yeah. He'd had a few drinks in him.
Yeah, I bet.
He was a little,
I bet, man.
not drunk, but he was a little surly.
He still likes the crowd.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, he's like I said, he was trying to command the stage. People weren't really. And people are watching, but it's not like
they
a
don't
rock
know.
show.
No, they don't know who he is.
But he's got the fucking moves, and he, the hand in the air.
Yeah. He's doing American Idol without doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or The Voice or whatever in the fuck.
Fuck off.
That'd be so dope if he did The Voice. Take a lot of balls.
Yeah, it would.
Going through the machine, only to tell them, nah. Well, there was a dude last season that he was an old heavy metal guy, and he got in there for quite a ways. Yeah, Todd something.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, it
interesting.
Was funny
wow.
Because
cool.
That Blake dude chose him, and then said, "Yeah, man, I love that old sound. I used to listen to Rat and shit. I was killer, man.
Nice.
All the rest of the panel was like, huh? Who? So some of us knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dirty but Well Dressed. Great record. Well,
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun record. It's a good record. Subjective. Yeah, man, it's good.
Subjective.
Yeah.
Open your mind.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of bands.
Or close it.
There were a lot of bands in that same genre that were really putting out some turds. But the Dirty but Well, I mean, the songs are there. The musicianship is there. The vocals are there. I mean, if that's what you're into, you're going to like the record.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely got to talk about some of the turds from the time.
Fuck yeah.
Turds from the time.
Turds from the time.
Because there are those ones definitely disagreeable, arguable.
Yeah.
Probably from some people, but
yeah.
But we can make some strong arguments why they are.
Yes, we can.
Anyway, so.
All right.
Want to wrap up first ep?
Yeah, we'll wrap up the first episode and come up with some topics for episode 2, I guess.
We'll have more albums and more bands to talk about. And all of it.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Signing
off. Salute.
Thank you.